Hello fight fans, thanks for joining us at MMA Insider. Before we get rolling with today's news, show some love by hitting that like button and subscribing. Now let's uncover the latest happenings in MMA. Starting off, Dana White saves UFC 313 with Dustin Poirier versus Max Holloway. Moving on, Umar Nurmagomedov vows to choke out Merab Dvalishvili at UFC 311. Lastly, former Jon Jones opponent predicts Jon Jones will retire after fighting Tom Aspinall in 2025. Even though Dana White and co. are yet to make official announcements regarding the fights for UFC 313, social media has boomed with athletes confirming their stance for the March 2025 pay-per-view. While nothing is known about the main event, there was one fight that succeeded in exciting the fight fans to the greatest extent. It was, of course, the rumor of Dustin Poirier versus Max Holloway 3 that could possibly save the event. MMA Sound recently gave voice to a rumor about Dustin versus Holloway at UFC 313 for a trilogy fight being in the works. Soon after that, MMA Sapiens took to Instagram and shared the news with the fighting community. The caption to the post read, "Dustin Poirier versus Max Holloway is rumored to be in the works for UFC 313. That's a huge fight." Dustin and Max have already met in the octagon twice. The first matchup was during Dustin's fourth UFC fight in the featherweight division. It was nothing short of a war at UFC 143. Within the first round, Dustin succeeded in submitting Holloway with an armbar. Needless to say, the fight put the Cajun fighter in the spotlight. The duo met once again at UFC 236 as lightweights. Both of the fighters had built an impressive resume with wins over some of the strongest fighters in the UFC. With the interim lightweight championship belt on the line, things became a bit intense. Nevertheless, it was Dustin who dominated the octagon and won via a unanimous decision. A rematch between Dustin and Max would certainly raise the hype around the MMA realm. With both fighters nearing the end of their primes and having lost their previous bouts, both title fights, we can expect UFC 313 to be the last time we'll see at least one of them, and we mean Dustin in action. Umar Nurmagomedov believes he will finish Merab Dvalishvili at UFC 311. Nurmagomedov is set to challenge Dvalishvili for the bantamweight title in a highly anticipated matchup. It's a fight many fans are looking forward to, and Nurmagomedov enters the bout with plenty of confidence as he believes he won't just win but will finish Dvalishvili. "He will not beat me. I can't imagine how he will beat me. He can't hold me. Okay, maybe he will take me down one time, but he has to hold me there. He can't. He has to punch. It's not going to be how he did always. I'm not the person who will go crazy. I can wrestle too. Don't forget about it, but I can finish you. If he gives me his back, I'm going to choke you. Be careful." It's clear Umar Nurmagomedov thinks he will be able to beat Merab Dvalishvili with ease at UFC 311. If he does finish Dvalishvili, it helps cement his legacy and make him a bigger star than he already is. Despite Umar Nurmagomedov challenging for the bantamweight title at UFC 311, he doesn't think Merab Dvalishvili is his toughest fight. Instead, Nurmagomedov thinks Corey Sandhagen is still the toughest fight of his career, even though Dvalishvili is the champ. It's going to be cocky if I say Dvalishvili is easy money. I think he's not. He's a good fighter. But hardest challenge in my division, I think, is Corey. This fight was hardest in my life. Umar Nurmagomedov is 18-0 as a pro and coming off a decision win over Corey Sandhagen. In the UFC, Nurmagomedov is 6-0 with 3 wins by stoppage. Merab Dvalishvili, meanwhile, is 18-4 as a pro and coming off a decision win over Sean O'Malley to win the title. Dvalishvili is riding an 11-fight winning streak. Chael Sonnen believes that 2025 will mark the final year in the historic career of Jon Jones. Jones is widely regarded as the most dominant fighter throughout MMA history. His lone defeat has been heavily debated, as it was a disqualification loss to Matt Hamill back in 2009. Jon Jones has reigned as both the light heavyweight and heavyweight champion, and many are wondering when the 37-year-old legend will call it a career. Sonnen thinks it will happen this year. The American gangster looked into his crystal ball and suggested that Jon Jones will hang up his gloves after fighting Tom Aspinall. If you wanted my boldest prediction of 2025, I'm actually very confident in the prediction, and that is that Jon Jones retires. I will tell you that Jon Jones is going to fight Tom Aspinall. I will tell you Jon's going to do a lot better with Tom than some people are giving him credit for, but that's tomorrow's discussion. When that fight is done, win or lose, I do believe it will be Jon's final appearance. While Jones has shown more interest in a clash with UFC light heavyweight champion Alex Pereira, he has said he'd be willing to fight Aspinall if the money is right. It's the fight that fans and experts have clamored for, given that Jones holds heavyweight gold, while Aspinall is an interim title holder. Time will tell if that fight comes to fruition and if we'll see the last of Jon Jones inside the octagon when the dust settles. medals. Thank you so much for tuning into today's video. Your dedication and support fuel our passion to bring you the latest and greatest in the MMA world. If you enjoyed today's news, please give us a thumbs up and share it with fellow MMA fans. Remember to subscribe to stay in the loop with daily MMA updates. We've got a lot of exciting news, interviews, and analysis coming your way every single day. Your engagement helps us grow and serve the MMA community even better. Once again, thank you for being an integral part of our daily MMA journey.